Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let me just get my screens together. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time of your evening to join us. My name is Alfonso Saldaña, and I'm honored to serve as one of Mutual Men's national co-directors. And I'm very excited to see a lot of you, which I know, and some new faces, come here, gather tonight. We're coming together what I think is a very remarkable moment in history. In just a few weeks, our nation will be celebrating its 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And while for many people that anniversary will be an opportunity to celebrate the history, for us, it's also an opportunity to ask an important question, which is, have we fulfilled the promise of self-governance that was envisioned many 250 years ago? And if not, what are we going to do about it? So tonight's planning call is about answering that question through action, through hands-on work. And over the course of this call, we will share the national vision for the 250th anniversary campaign. We will discuss opportunities for local organizing. Um, we will also review resources and tools that are available to you. And I think most importantly, we will leave with a concrete plan for taking action in your community. So the goal isn't simply to commemorate this anniversary. The goal is to actually make history ourselves. Um, and we want communities across the country to use this anniversary as an opportunity to declare independence from corporate rule and build momentum for the We the People amendment. So before we dive in, I would just like to take a few moments, if you guys don't mind, if you don't mind sharing in the chat, what's your name, where are you joining us from, how are you doing today, which is the most important part, because this is a movement completely and entirely made by you, grassroots volunteers. So checking on each other is vital in this journey. And lastly, maybe any organizations that you may be a part of and how you heard about this workshop. So you can share that in the chat and I'll try to not miss anything. I appreciate those of you that already introduced yourselves in the chat. Um, so yeah, we will keep an eye out to those. So again, thank you everybody for being here. I would also like to spend a few moments talking about why this moment matters and why Mutual Man is putting so much emphasis on this anniversary. As I mentioned, 250 years ago, a group of colonists issued a bold declaration. They basically asserted that governments derive their powers from the consent of the governed, and they rejected firmly the idea of having kings, aristocrats, or powerful institutions or corporations uh, ruling over ordinary people, which is what we see nowadays, more of the concentration of wealth and big corporations getting away with more and more stuff every day. At its core, this Declaration of Independence was a statement about self-governance, and it was a declaration that people should govern themselves, most importantly, that the power rests on the people. And now, to be clear, that promise was incomplete from the start, as many of you know. People were excluded from political power, indigenous peoples, enslaved people, women, and countless others were denied the rights and freedoms described in the Declaration. Yet, generation after generation, people organize and struggle to make that promise more and more real by constitutional amendments. So, the story of this country has always been about people fighting to expand democracy. Today, we face another major obstacle to genuine self-governance, and that is corporate constitutional rights and the influence of big money in our political system, which have created a system that concentrates wealth often and wealth and influence in those institutions like corporations and the voting instead of ordinary people, as it was intended to be. So throughout court decisions like Citizens United and many others before it, corporations have been granted constitutional rights that were never intended for artificial entities. While at the same time, massive campaigns uh, have been spending a lot of money in our political system, making it increasingly difficult for ordinary people to compete with the billionaire donors and the corporate interests behind all of it. Um, so the result is a system that is often uh, only responsive to that concentrated wealth rather than the public. And that is why Move to Amend exists. We believe that the solution must be structural. We need to restructure everything. And the We the People Amendment would establish that constitutional rights belong only to human beings, not corporations, and that money spent in elections shall be regulated. That is not about one election. It's about the whole system. It's about creating systemic change. It's about who governs. Um, we will continue down this path where wealth and corporate power dominate the political decisions, or can we change that? We believe that we can. It just takes a movement, and that is what we're trying to do. Um, that conversation is that what we want to have tonight, how to bring communities across the country during this anniversary to make that movement grow, and bring this to the mainstream, to the spotlight. We want people to connect the unfinished promise of the original declaration with the work that remains to be done by us today, and see how they can plug into that work and bring it to your communities and make true the promise of democracy by means of the We the People Amendment as a systemic solution. So again, I'm very appreciative of all of you for being here tonight, for tuning in. We're gonna be doing this on as a team. I would like to now introduce Katie, who is gonna be going over the national campaign and the actions that are available for you to take.
I always do that. I'm off mute now. So good to see everybody. And I see some new faces. That's cool. And great to see all of you again. My name's Katie. I'm a national co-director at Move to Bend, and I've been here about 3 years. And every day it's a new, wonderful learning experience and great people. So if you've been following along, you know that we've been our national campaign this year has been Declaration of Independence from Corporate Rule, which has consisted of an email series and social media messaging. And I mean, it just is a perfect timing for all that's going on with the world today. And the message is really resonating. Um, but we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how you can plug in. Um, we were really lucky when we were at Remove the Regime to make a great connection with an organization called Flare. And in a meeting with, they do a lot of lobbying, and in a meeting with them 3 months ago, we were asking them to include the We the People Amendment towards their lobbying because they get a lot of people and they're DC based, which is something we've been needing. And in that conversation, we started talking about an event, and we had been looking for something to plug into because, of course, we can't afford to do our own big event. And so this has just grown to just this organic, beautiful thing. Michael, I see you're in the room. A lot of influencers with a huge following. So where our goal is when we get there is to really express to people, yes, we need to resist. We need to do all the things that you're doing, but until we fix the system that allows this to happen, then we're just going to be in this constant loop. And it is resonating. And so many people just have not heard about We the People Amendment. So I think this is going to be a really good thing for us to be doing. So there's going to be, of course, days of training, which Move to Amend will be doing the from protest to power, building a genuine democracy through constitutional change. And you guys know Ben Mansky, right? One of the original Move to Amenders has Next System Studies. And Jenny's pulled that together really nicely. And she could probably tell you the other people on a panel, but there's going to be a Next System Study program as well. And lots of organizations are taking, during the day, we'll be doing, um, well, for 4 days, we're going to be lobbying hardcore. talking. They get a lot of people. There's people being bussed in from all over. We just talked to someone in California that they're organizing for veterans to come. The last day on Friday before the big march is Veterans Day, and they did that for Remove the Regime. It was really powerful and beautiful. Comedy. We are bringing a interactive mural. We're also bringing a 4 by 7 foot Declaration of Independence, and like I said, all week long we'll be lobbying, doing these activities. At night, there's going to be some fun events, and then on the very last day, 4th of July, Backbone's bringing in a ton of props, including a 700-foot Constitution. And Backbone is really a great ally to us because we're in the space with some people who like American opposition that were really big in the preparing of in getting No King started, and he has a lot of connections to the people that run that. And he, I'm not in the group that's doing the march, but one of the organizers said, "Hey, Backbone is talking you guys up because Carlos was really had no idea who you were, was vetting you out." And he's like, "No, these people are in it." And so the march is going to be the 700-foot Constitution, but it's also going to have a vision of the future. And Move to Amend's going to be proudly walking behind with our big banner of we've got to unrig the system, you know. Um, let's see. Let me tell you guys, we're going to go over a little bit more of some activities that you guys can do in your communities. But this is not just about a DC. We would love for everybody to get to DC. It'd be great. But I know that that's not possible. But there are some amazing things that you guys could be doing. Of course, the opt-eds and the writing to the editor and just hitting those things very hard. And of course, like I said, we're going to go over some other activities that I've put together that we're going to be bringing to DC that you could maybe do in your communities. So, but our key messaging, of course, is always that democracy belongs to people, not corporations, and billionaires shouldn't dominate our elections or our public policy. And we need structural change. We need it so badly. Um, but during the training, we'll go over any particular wait. So for the rest of the training, we're going to go over, more things about the opt-eds and other things you guys can do. Does anyone have any questions about what we're doing or who we're meeting or some of the organizations that are involved? Let me see. I don't have my screen open up too much. But yeah, it's going to be fun. And I hope that, it's going to be a nationwide thing. So when you guys are out there petitioning or setting up something or talking to people, that it's just going to be just all across the country. And it's happened before. Things have gone viral. That messaging's gone viral, and that's just something we need to have happen. And we're going to work very hard while we're in DC to connect with um, other local podcasters and things in the community. So we're going to be out there. And I have been working out. I've lost 10 pounds. I'm going to be able to do that 22,000 steps a day. We're going to be ready. And we got beautiful signage, and it's coming together very nicely. Jenny, did you want to say who else was in the next system studies? She might not be here, but it's going to be a great panel. So, oh, who's next up? I'm good if no one has any questions. I'm sorry, I had to kind of rewrite things because Alfonso said a lot of stuff that I was going to say. So,
Sorry.
no questions. Who's up next, Alfonso? I don't have the
Yeah,
agenda in front of me.
would be me. Yeah, so talking about actions that you guys can engage in, one of the most impactful actions you can take during this campaign would be to visit your member of Congress in the district office. So many people assume that lobbying only happens in DC, but district offices are where representatives stay connected to their constituents year round. So you can visit your local office, your district office, anytime. You don't need to set up an appointment. You can just drop by. You don't need a large group. It could be just by yourself. But if you have friends that want to tag along, the more the merrier. And the most important thing, and this is perhaps the biggest myth, is that you don't need to be a professional lobbyist, or you don't need to have years of experience to do a congressional lobby meeting. What matters most is showing up as a constituent that is concerned about the state of the things, and speaking from the heart about why the We the People Amendment matters to you. Um, so yeah, I would like to ask around the room. I see, Michael, you have your hand up. I was going to ask if any of you have conducted any lobby meetings before, uh, but do you have any questions besides that?
Yes, I do. I've been involved with Move to Amend since the very beginning, and before that, since 2002 with POCLAD, Program on Corporations, Law and Democracy, with Greg Coleridge. And I have to say, I'm very frustrated at this point in this process because we were at something like 500 and something thousand signatures 5 or 6 years ago. I think we're over 600,000 now. But as I look at the list, we have 82 or is it 84 people in Congress who have signed um, as co-sponsors of HJR 54. And several months ago, I did a survey to see what was happening from our co-sponsors. And I found that of all of those people, only one, and that's the main sponsor, our leader sponsor, Pramila Jayapal, and one other, Sylvia Ocasio-Cortez, had done anything on their websites or anywhere else on Move to Amend. And it just astonishes me that these 82, maybe 84 people now have said, we are supposed to co-sponsors of this. And what are they doing to voice that in both their social media and their websites and their presentations around the country? I don't see that. And that's one of the things that really concerns me. The other thing that concerns me is we talk about the fact that we are still invisible. We don't have much visibility. And yet, when you talk to somebody who is really concerned about the situation today, and you explain that it's the corporate personhood and the money of speech that is really allowing things to happen that are happening today, and that it's not a um, Democratic or Republican issue, it's a constitutional issue. And anybody who starts to think about it should be able to come to the conclusion that this is something we've got to do. So my question is, and has been for a long time, and I've been writing to people about this all over the country, why do we not have yet one or more nationally known celebrity, personality, sports, politician, whatever, who is not depending on corporate money for their success, who will, understanding what Move to Amend is about, publicize it vocally, nationally, broadly, because I am certain that if this were to happen, others in the same position would realize, that's right. This is not partisan. It's not Democratic or Republican. It's constitutional, and we are destroying our Constitution and have been doing that for many years.
Right.
So that's my question. Why is this
Okay.
not happening yet? And I'll shut up.
I'll,
Thank
can
you.
I answer? Well, so I did live out this part through this whole planning this event. We had to reach out to um, celebrities, and we made some really good connections with Everlast. And all my outreach was very moved to amend. It wasn't, come see us in 7 days in DC. And all mine was moved to amend oriented, unrig the system, the We the People Amendment. And we're the only group that got celebrities to respond. We got Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machines partner responded. And so did Everlast, which they are, huge, huge celebrities. Um, and we are working on a campaign right now that incorporates the Rage Against Machine. It's not, I can't say too much about it because it's not all finalized, but we are working on it. And I think having a base in DC, which is something we've never really had. We've had a few strong supporters, but people that go every single week to talk to, and they run into reps all the time. And what our job when we get there is to really make the case that this is so important, that this has always got to be your talking points. It's got to be your number one issue. And I think people are definitely starting to get it because we got to meet people where they are. They're coming here because they're frustrated and they want to impeach Trump and they wanted this and they wanted that. And so just wish us luck. We're going to do our best to get that going in DC. And these people, like I say, go 3 times a week, and they get way more than a handful of people. Sometimes they get hundreds of people to show. We're going to flood Congress, and like Alfonso said, on those days that we're there, we also need to make phone calls. I just read a piece from a staff member that said the emails are great. Well, the emails are okay, but the phone calls. So we're going to really push the phone calls. They said if you get 50 phone calls, that is a meeting. So we're going to hit that really heavy while we're there, and hopefully we see some results. And every rep I run into, I'm going to say, this has got to be more than just your signature. And then when you were talking about our petition signers, we may have 530,000 petition signers, but when we get those petitions, we need to encourage people to stay on as a volunteer, because a lot of that is just, sign the petition, take it to the thing, but then we don't have any other engagement from them. So and we've noticed now that we've been asking our volunteers and stuff to make that volunteer ask when they're getting a petition signed, that more people are staying on, because you have an option to check off not getting emails or but we're finding more people are not doing that. And that's just something we got to work on, because the petition is not going to help us if you are not in it. So Bill had a question. Did I answer that enough? Okay, Michael?
I'm afraid not, because you said that you're going to the Republic representatives and talking to them about it. But what has happened? I've been watching this now for 20 some
Well, we
years,
haven't been in a while, and we've never had a base in DC ever,
but
ever.
we have these politicians who are signatories of this House Joint Resolution, and none of them, except those two, to my knowledge, have ever said anything publicly and been seen. We have a national visibility with our networks and our social media. Get one person who is really visible and really believes this to start talking about it on the broadcast networks, on the social media, on the private bots, on the
Right.
chats, and it we will start hearing about it. Has it happened? Can anybody point to something
Well,
that is
okay,
happening
so
now?
be working with Tom, who's doing the Montana plan, and Pete Buttigieg's been talking a lot about the constitutional amendment. We're going to reach out to him and put the We the People amendment in front of it. When we're there, we're also going to set up a space where we can interview people. We're trying to set up those interviews, just a clip to get them encouraged, and that is part of the ask. When we talk to a representative, make it a talking point. Why are you not bringing this up? I mean, we're going a little bit more, I don't want to say aggressive, but a little bit more empowered, because we're going to have so many more people with us, and we're going to be able to reach so many more people. And it's going to
I
be
think we have to be
televised.
aggressive. We have to
Yeah,
be aggressive.
yeah. It's
As
going to
we head
be
into our
right.
midterms, if we don't
Mhm.
have change by then, I am scared about what
Right.
is going to happen later on.
Yeah.
We're going deeper and deeper. And it really
Right.
takes just one national
Right.
voice to start saying
I
it.
agree.
And you know what would happen? Others from the right and the
Right.
left will see this and hear this and say, damn it, you're right. This is the next big step that's got to happen.
I agree.
And it
And that is
does.
definitely our goal.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll stop
100%.
again.
So, but I'm feeling really good about the connections we've made, and I think that it's going to be happening. But we hear you. Honestly, that's what we're working on. Um, Bill, you had your hand up.
Yes. Hi, Katie.
Okay.
Um, I was wondering if you can tell me, or tell us all, I guess, what the situation is with move to amend and um, public citizen, which is working a pretty intense program, I think, to overturn Citizens United. And
Mhm.
how does their amendment differ from ours, and why are we not working closer together with them? I'm
I'm
thinking.
glad you asked, because the person who's actually partners in a record label is one of the directors over at Public Citizens, and we had an incredible conversation. Their campaign finance and we know that that's not going to fix it, and so we had a really good conversation, and we just got to develop that relationship. That is number one on my list when I get there, is to develop that relationship with him. So it was a
Okay,
really good connection. And
great.
we're all just going, and we just got to come together and we got to talk about these things. And Public Citizens has endorsed us. So we're already in the door a little bit. We just got to
Hmm.
get in there. Yeah, they would
Yeah.
be an incredible partner.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you for that question, Bill. All right. So, any other questions? Also, just revisiting the item that I was discussing, which is congressional and district meetings. I wanted to ask the group, does anybody of you has ever taken or done lobbying in district or in DC or any lobbying experience? You see a few hands. All right, great, 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 great. Um, so for those of you that have, if you want to share, if you have any particular experiences, feel free to share those on the chat. We'll try to get to those. Any tips for newbies? Personally, the first time that I did a lobby meeting, I was a little um, apprehensive and overwhelmed. But after a few meetings, I realized that the most important part about this is to tell your story. Share why this is an important issue to you, what experiences led you to become involved, and secondly, to make a clear ask. So once you establish your history, why this is important to you, explain that you are a constituent, very concerned about the accumulation of wealth and corporate influence, then you can make an ask, which in this case would be to get a co-sponsorship for the We the People Amendment. And if your representative is hesitant, or most of the times you don't actually meet with the representative, so also don't take that as a discouragement. It's going to be a staff member, and they have to run it by whoever's their boss. So it's going to take some time. They're not going to be able to give you a definitive yes or no in that instant. But they will definitely have to bring it up to their boss or next in command, next in command chain. It's actually good that that happens because you're gonna have an excuse to go back to that staff member and try to follow up with them. And in doing so, you want to try to build a relationship because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are gonna be going after trying to push this item on the pipeline. So if you are able to establish a good relationship with the staff person, it is more likely that they're gonna commit more time to this issue and bring it up to the representative. So just don't take it personal if it takes a little long to get a response. It's about consistent. That's the name of the game. Consistency. That's the name of the game when it comes to lobbying, and just about doing follow-ups. So I just want to take a few seconds here to look at the chat, make sure I don't miss anything. And if anybody has, like Michael, you raise your hand. If you have any tips or advice that you would like to give to any other folks here that have never done lobbying, that would be welcome. But yeah, any questions when it comes to, and if you are unsure where to or how to reach your congressperson, I can share a link in the chat right now so that you can get that information. But yeah, any questions? Let me see. Oh, okay,
Can I
let's
respond to Leslie real quick?
sure.
Yeah, so I have heard your that, and you give me great advice, and I really appreciate it, Leslie. And we do almost every Wednesday we do have a We the People Wednesday where we share a one-click link. But again, we are going to start doing more asking for the phone calls. And I actually posted something today about making the phone calls. So we, we appreciate it. And I'm sorry that we do have to fundraise, but I mean, honestly, we're competing against people that have like an $8 million budget. We are barely, make our expenses at 350,000. So, I know it seems like we ask for money, but we don't take corporate money. There's another organization right now that is going to outspend us, and we have to ask, unless you want us to be bought by corporations. So that's not going to happen. So
Sean, I see your hands up. You're muted. There you go.
Did I get it? Okay. Um, is there an opportunity for people to make phone calls outreach to get other people? I know you're talking about calling individually to our representatives, but beyond that, I'm really good on phones, and it would be an
Yay.
easy thing for me to do. Hi, Katie.
Hi, how are you? I'm so
Good to
glad to
see you.
see you.
Yeah,
So I would love to do that. That's my forte.
It's so awesome.
It's and Katie's got my number, so I know
awesome.
you can tell me.
I will call you since it's over, but I need to get you signed up as a uh, explain it, Jenny, MOP or something. I don't know.
Come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have an advocate program. We used to like gear towards having, or I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm sorry, it keeps clicking off on me. Um,
The picture.
I don't know if I don't know what it is, but we have an advocate program that we would love for you to become a part of. And that's where, you advocate in your community. It also gives you an opportunity to, we have a process that will give you the ability to call in your community or, through our nation builder,
Right.
through our website, our database to reach out to people individually. It also gives you all the tools you need, the extra help. It's a commitment from us to help you build in your community. And
And can I say, and the
so it's a
reason,
little bit more of a commitment than like just
right.
volunteering casually. But
And
it's
plus we
also our
just can't,
commitment to you.
yeah. And we can't just give out people's information without, some training. And so as we've talked, making thank you calls, which is my favorite thing to do. And I just never have enough time, you know, never have enough time.
That
So thank you.
yeah, I could
Yeah,
make
that's
thank you
wonderful.
calls too. You
I
just
love
let me
that.
know.
For sure. I'm so good to see your face.
Yours too.
I'm going to keep trying to turn this on, but for some reason it keeps flipping out on me. I would like to go over a little bit about like letters to the editor and op-eds. These, we believe, are two of the most efficient tools available to grassroots advocates because they allow ordinary people to shape public conversations. It's a really good way to influence decision makers and to reach audiences beyond our existing networks. Because sometimes it feels like we're preaching to the choir. I like the old adage, you preach to the choir so they go out and sing, and that's kind of like the philosophy that we're going by in this. Um, so as we prepare for this campaign, we want to ensure that our messages are reaching community members, elected officials, local media. We really want to make this big. We've never had an opportunity like this before, except right after Citizens United happened, right? And we are so much more um, plugged in now, and the energy is here. We're seeing it every day. Publishing letters and opinion pieces helps demonstrate that the support of for this constitutional change. And for some people, it may be the first time they're hearing it. For others, it needs to be an ecosystem until it becomes reality, right?
Right.
So ending corporate rule is growing across the communities, as you know. So most elected officials and their staffs monitor their local papers, medias, newspapers, publish multiple letters to the editors. We created a couple of template letters to the editor that can get you started, and then you personalize it and tell your story. Like Katie was talking before, your story matters. Your voice matters, and this is a great opportunity to express that. So the letter to an editor, the basic is it's like short responses to current events, some news stories, editorials, or public issues, right? The typical links are about 120 to 250 words. Some of the best uses are highlighting a local event if you know what you're participating, if you're doing something locally, responding to recent news articles that support, where you can tie in this kind of messaging. The Declaration of Independence, the 4th of July, is a perfect tie-in for the campaign that we're currently running, Declaration of Independence from Corporate Rule. This is really going to help raise awareness about our issue. And so you want to make reference to whatever you're doing, that event, that article, or that issue. So something like, dear, I appreciate your recent coverage of blah, blah, blah. Or I appreciate, because you're writing this letter to the editor. You want to have your main point, the focus on one clear argument, which is support for the We the People Amendment and that kind of constitutional change. Present some evidence and a connection, provide a fact or some local examples to corporate rule. These will be really powerful way to engage. And then with a closing, and then you want to end it with a call to action. So, for example, as we approach the 250th anniversary of Declaration of Independence, it's time to fulfill its promise of self-government by passing the We the People Amendment. Okay, so these letter to the editors, a couple of tips. You want to keep it short. Like I said, this isn't real drawn out. You want to focus on your main point. You want to use clear language. We do have some templates to get you started, as I said. And maybe you like to write, maybe this is like your kind of thing. Op-eds go a little deeper. It's a longer opinion article, and it allows you to make more detailed arguments. These are usually about 600 to 800 words. These are best if you're explaining complex issues. So if you want to do a deep dive into corporate constitutional rights and why they are harmful to our communities, we have plenty of resources for that. And we want to offer solutions during this, which is, support for the We the People Amendment and constitutional change. You want to connect again to the larger events. The timing of it is perfect. Everybody's talking about the 250th anniversary, and this is still an opportunity to say, hey, we are still struggling for self-government. We have grown in some ways and we have gone backwards in others. No kings, no corporate rulers. And you want to start, when you're doing a op-ed, you want to start with like a compelling hook, a personal story, a surprising fact, some kind of historical connection, which the 250 does, and how that connects with the current event. Again, here's an example, as America approaches its 250th anniversary, many people are asking whether our democracy still lives. And we know it's not, right? So you use your own language going from there. I don't want to water it down in any way. I'm just hoping to kind of give and encourage y'all to use what your knowledge, what your passions are, what brought you to this space, and to channel that into a larger communication with your community through these op-eds and or letters to the editor. And again, be clear, just like when we go into a representative's office, sometimes we get so caught up in the minutia, we don't have our ask. We want to make sure that we are connecting, the We the People Amendment. The We the People Amendment would establish that constitutional rights belong to human beings, not corporation, and that money spent to influence elections can be regulated, shall be regulated, I should say, shall be regulated. And we want to use that language so that there's no ambiguity. We know that it shall. And then always the call to action, reach out to your representative, meet us at this event, whatever it is that y'all have planned in your communities, do a call of action in some way to push that along. You want to leave readers with a sense of urgency and possibility. We have a vision for the future, one that we all deserve, one where where people come before profits. So, like I said, we hope that you will engage in this way and to use this campaign and these themes of 7 days of civic action. And if we can make this grow in communities across the country. Talk to people encourage them to do the same thing. If you get turned down by one publication, send it to another. Let's make, and then send it to us after you've gotten published. We'd love to compile that. We'd love to share that with others in our community and share it out on our resources to raise it up. And remember, do some ask. What does it mean today? Who truly governs? How does this concentrated corporate power really affect our self-government? People are thinking about this when we think about the Declaration of Independence, when we go into the 4th of July, what that means to be a citizen of an America right now, where corporations are also considered citizens, but people are not. And when you're talking about make it connect to whatever it is, whether it's, again, healthcare for profit, housing for profit, prison industrial complex, the military industrial complex, anything you could put industrial complex behind, even nonprofit industrial complex, right? They're out there, and that's a thing. So workers' rights, our local economic development and poor choices that are made while people are, hungry and cold on the streets. Connect it to what's happening with the next, with our vision, right, for the future, because we know that there's been other plans afoot, what is that, Project 2025, and we have solutions. You have the solutions in your hand of how we can make these changes, and it's going to be together, all of us together, right? So I want to open it up if you have any questions about an LTE. We are going to send all these resources out with templates, guides, anything you need, and we're also available to reach out to us personally anytime for any questions, any feedback that you would have or may want. If you need a second set of eyes, if you don't have that locally, let me know. We would happily help in any way that we can. And I want to open it up for any questions, thoughts, comments.
Katie Stack. Can I just say that also, you're in this thing, you're writing, you're doing this, creating this beautiful piece. Share it on social media, share it in your LinkedIn accounts. If you have a Substack, start a Substack. Just get it out there as much as you can. So I was surprised how many democracy workers really rely on LinkedIn more than other social media. So. Oh, and Reddit. Someone was Tom from CAP was saying his Reddit does really well, and it helped him get a lot of. He had one thing about the Montana plan that was shared that was viewed 5 million times. So we need to start hitting Reddit a little harder.
So any questions about that? Must have done a thorough job. I'm going to assume. Okay. Like I said, all of this information is going to come out to you in an email afterwards. We just wanted to connect with you and see, where you're at on it. We can go through some of these if you want. I don't want to waste any of your time. I actually want to hear a little bit about you, but I want to turn it over to Katie to just share maybe, did you already go over the scrolls and that kind of event stuff?
I didn't, but I did want to mention real quick about the pledge campaign that we recently fell into, another connection with Flair. So they gave us an opportunity, Democracy for Courage. They have 123 candidates, and some of them are really rock stars. I mean, they're out there getting it. And they let us do a presentation, and we had how many, like 84 of them take the pledge. and they've been making videos and they've been making it part of their campaign. So that's exciting. And we've got two more, and it's a similar thing like the David Hogg's candidates. A lot of them overlap, but they have also connected us to other people that we're going to be following up with. So getting those candidates out there talking about it and sending us video clips and sharing it on their media. So that's been exciting. It's been a lot of work because it was primaries. We had to get a lot of stuff done. But yeah, that's cool. And let's see, we want to talk about anybody want to screen share? I just got all my supplies in. So we're going to be doing like I said, a mural in DC.
I
And
one
is
second,
that what you
Katie. I just want,
okay?
yeah. I just wanted to look in chat since no hands went up real quick.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, Michael, you've done an amazing job. Absolutely amazing. He's been a powerhouse between getting faith and ethical communities involved. Randy, I'd love to hear that you're writing. Consider doing a national, uh, a national publication if you love to write. And I am so sorry to hear that violence was done to your car. That breaks my heart. And yes, templates and guides. Thanks, Barb. We will definitely send those out to you. Sorry, Katie.
Oh, it's
I can
okay.
screen
No.
share for sure if
Yeah,
that's
I
helpful.
don't have capabilities right now. So if you want to just pull up
Okay.
the declaration one first, is this what you wanted me to go over? 'Cause then,
Yeah, just kind
uh,
of quick an overview of this
sure.
kind of fun scroll build. You could get
Mhm.
communities and neighbors
Right.
and other organizations
Gotcha.
involved with this. So go ahead.
So
I'm sorry.
this has got a lot of instructions on how to build this thing, but it's basically a big drop cloth. I ordered a 4 by 15 one to take with us to DC, and it's nice and thin, and where I think it's a great opportunity to talk to people while they're signing their grievances. You can have, if you don't want to do all that, you could do a grievance box. This is about making our Declaration of Independence, you know. Um, so that's exciting. And then if you want to go ahead and just put it on the mural real quick. So that's a really easy prop. You don't even have to, you just lay it out and people start signing it. And then you have it forever.
Very cool. Yeah.
Do you want to do the mural real quick, Jenny?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Give me one
It's right
second
underneath it.
here.
It's right underneath it on the
Ah,
agenda.
no, but I just closed it.
Oh,
Give me 2 seconds.
if someone gives me,
I can be very computer illiterate here.
I mean, if you want to give me host, I could do it too. Because I know how to do that now.
You should have abilities to
I know
share.
usually I seem a little more polished, but here we go. So this is a mural project. Go ahead,
Okay, so
Katie.
this one you can, do it however big you want. I originally was going to try to do 900 tiles, but I've got to take all this stuff to DC. So we're just going to be doing 254-inch tiles and then it being like 4 by 7. But we're going to do the corporate rule with the Declaration of Independence. You don't have to go all the way down that, Jenny. Nobody can read that. Just put it on the visual. But the thing is, people will do their little tiles and tell their story that way. And we can have a nice conversation while that's happening. Like I said, so many people that we come into contact have never heard this. And it's a lot to wrap your head around. So this gives you a little time to be able to talk to them instead of just getting a signature sign. And then you can find a cool place to have it displayed afterwards. So I think with this, we might even take this first one. I have talked to the Smithsonian about maybe showing it there, but we're looking for a place in DC. But this can grow as we do it as well. Like I can add way more red tiles, way more white tiles, and maybe if we could get people to do it all over the country, we could put it all together and have just a really prominent, cool, or traveling, you know, declaration. And I am an artist, so it's nice to use the other side of my brain. I found a place, and I'm going to link that. I haven't updated it that was going out of business, and I got 100 paint markers for $7. So I ordered 10 boxes of those, and I just got them today. And that's why I was kind of late because I'm over there doing my little tile. And you don't have to bring paint, you don't have to do any of that, and they're absolutely beautiful. So, and they look like paint, so it's exciting. Is And I think that's it. So,
So what about big rallies, signs, handheld, loudspeaker? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you could do any of that. You could plan any of that in the community where you're at. I'm not sure if, um, you know, 5051, Indivisible, they've all been doing a lot of stuff, connecting with them and finding, different organizations that are working on justice work in your communities to talk about these things. And, almost every community I know of right now has some kind of data center actions going on. These are all, I'm glad you like that. I'm trying to read all of this. Go to meetings, organizations anytime, hand out copies absolutely of the amendment on one side, instructions on the back. We will have some handbills to pass out. They'll be linked in this, so that you can do 3 per page so that you have um, plenty of, kind of conserving on paper and all of that. Um, and do we have
Did you
any other questions, any other
did you see the
thoughts,
questions
ideas?
about where the activity is going to be in DC? But did I read
Yeah,
that?
they draw.
Did you already
Yeah,
address that? Sorry, I got that
yeah.
distracted by
The
this cute
outs
guy.
the outside activity is going to happen at Flair's encampment, which is at Union Station, right on Pennsylvania Avenue. And they've been holding a 24/7 vigil for over a year now. They celebrated the 1 year anniversary of that vigil. Their demand is removal of this regime, impeach, convict, and remove. We've shared the We the People Amendment, and now that's becoming part of their demands. And then we're doing a march. We're still working on a permit. If we don't get a permit, we're still marching. So that location has not been named yet. And we Backbone Campaign is bringing 1,000 pounds of movement art with them. One of it is the We the People Amendment that is now 700. I mean, now 900. No, 700 feet long, which is massive. You could see it from, space. And then there's also, so what will precede the demand for the We the People Amendment, the We the People Constitution, is the world we want to see, like depictions of a healthy earth and animals and healthcare for all, and visuals that kind of demonstrate what kind of world we want to live in. And a lot of this can be incorporated in communities near you. Backbone does movement art all across the country. We borrowed it one time in a New York action, and then carried it via public transportation from New York to DC. It was quite an undertaking, and but it was also a beautiful time. And whoever thinks this work is easy, they're just out having a festival. Well, you know how hard those are to put on. The joy that we bring to the work when we're doing it, and the love that we bring to the work that we're doing, it's nonstop.
And again, the fundraising, I do want you guys to know, like we're not in this for money. Like we're all paying for our own trips. We're paying for our own supplies. I mean, we do this because we have children that we love, and then we want to see this happen. So,
Absolutely.
and yeah, Jenny talked me into carrying that Constitution to the windy streets of New York, but it ended up being fun.
Yep. That's true. I came to this work also because I care about the planet, and after many years, this is the most uh, honest and best way forward to preserve the planet. So I assume all of you have a similar thing, or something that you really care about, and I think that you all see that this is the path forward to achieving that. So that's why we're all here. And hearing all the great things and ideas, maybe we can circle back to local actions that you might be interested in partaking or doing in your community. I really think that this is one of the strengths that Move to Amend has, that this work is rooted across the nation and a lot of localities, and every district is different. Every community has different opportunities, relationships, challenges, needs. Um, so maybe we can take this time now to go around. I think we have a small enough group that maybe we can go around, if you don't mind sharing what inspire you, what actions inspire you, or what are you planning on doing? Are you planning on trying to set up a congressional meeting in district, or maybe doing a rally or a protest outside the office? I would like to hear about you all. So if you don't mind muting yourself, raising your hand, or writing in the chat. Give them. John, you wanna, I see you're muted. You wanna share?
Oh.
Oh, no worries. Sorry, you're muted now. Sorry. There you
I
go.
did it. Am I doing it? Okay.
Yes, you're doing it.
Um, Offhand, I know I can write some letters to the editor and possibly the op-eds. I am currently trying to write a book. My son and I are writing a book.
Mhm.
I'll give you the title so you can kind of get an idea. If I've got some concerns, is for sure. It's called From Spectrum to Spectacular: Spirit Matters on the Highway of Life. So we've had a long road, my son and I, and he's now 40 years old and pretty successful too. But with the help of, it takes a village, and so it's basically on that. But I am also very politically minded. I've organized rallies before my own self. I'm kind of scared too right now though, because my son depends on me, and so I hate to get myself out there. Yeah, it's a hard thing, but nevertheless, I want to incorporate some of it into the book, especially regarding our current admin's stance on autism, and it's so wrong, and so that's my spirit of the whole thing, and I hope to do more. I'd love to make calls, and I could do some writing too. I've tried to get this book written. It's hard to do.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
But I love you guys. Have always been impressed with Move to Amend since the early days, and I'll try to help what I can.
Appreciate that. Yeah, this is the collective effort of you all the years of dedication, and appreciate that. Yeah, it's a tough balance. Um, Also, I was just reading at the chat, and I think it was Randy who shared the frustration about meeting with representatives that might not uh, be inclined to co-sponsor initially. And that just reminded me, I think it was Millie, somebody that was with us a while ago in New Mexico, I want to say, that the representative, same scenario, they were dragging their feet. And after a few hours that they were out in the streets protesting in front of her district office, the representative's district office, they came on board. So just wanted to share that as inspiration that even when the the representative of the overall horizon might not seem promising or good, there's still things that you can do to change that. And I think that was one of the most memorable experiences because they used I believe an inflatable cow costume that they were outside. The sign said "Move to a man." So it was really cute, and it paid off. So just sharing that as a source of inspiration for all of you. So yeah, whether do you want to write a letter to the editor, put up a protest outside of the district, or focus on upcoming candidates, asking them to take the pledge, we're gonna be sending follow up with the recording of this, as well for all those resources that you're gonna need to embark in those actions. I wanna open it up. I see somebody just joined us, so I wanna open up the space for any questions. I know that we're towards the end, but any questions about any of the actions we discussed, how any support that you may need. We're here for you all. So also, by the way, our emails are just our first name at move2unman.org. So you can reach us anytime. Sometimes we do get overwhelming amounts of emails, but we tried our best to get to all of them in a timely manner. But yes, you can always reach out to us. And I see also Hawaiian Montana. Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you, Leslie, for sharing that. All right. Any last questions?
I also suggest that if you get a no, if there's a way that you can film people or, get it so
They're recorded.
the world knows what that they're saying no to, and send it to me. We'll put it out on our socials. So
Yes, that actually has a lot of weight. All right. So if there's no other questions.
George,
George.
I sent you a video, Alfonso. Did you check it out?
Uh,
2 minutes and 15 seconds.
I did. I have it ready.
Oh, cool.
Let me.
Okay.
I had it already. I lost my tab. Let me find it real quick. Okay.
Reminds me of my grandma. Even though I'm now in my 60s, I still think, oh, that reminds me of grandma. I could be a grandma.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Move to
right up there
sorry.
with you, George. I got called a grandma the other day.
Now I'm missing my Zoom. Where did my Zoom go? Sorry, y'all. Having two screens is very helpful, but sometimes the Zoom gets hidden. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I'm gonna share this.
share the sound.
Good catch. Let me make sure I do that. Optimize for video sharing. Here we go.
All right.
Let me know you all if you can hear it.
Ancestors calling. Get up, go, go. What? Pull up, pull up.
And I think when you do something like this, there's going to be an impact. I also think that one of the side effects of this is, very candidly, you're going to motivate black turnout. You're going to motivate black turnout. You're going to motivate.
Sorry, good. Are you talking?
No, I'm
black
just
turnout.
mocking this guy.
Ancestors calling. Get up, go, go. What? Pull up, pull up. They said be patient. It wasn't time to rise. Now the call is clear. They step over the line. We've been waiting. Now hear the sound. Election day. Boots to the ground. Put our boots to the ground. Black people moving through the town. Ancestors yelling loud and proud. Time for us to get our lick back now. They said boots to the ground. Line dancing all through the crowd. When the polls open, we hear the sound. Black people outside. Boots to the ground. Time to show them that we don't mess around. Voting day is the only day we'll put boots to the ground. Boots to the ground. Ancestors marching when we come around. We outside. We outside. Time to vote out these clowns.
This ad was paid for by You Got Us All the Way Fucked Up Coalition. Voted day.
You know what? I have been so inspired by the music. So, when I'm making the memes, they're kind of, but when you add the music to it, it just makes me so happy. So we got a
know.
playlist. I'm bringing a speaker with us for when we're marching. I'm ready to do a little dancing too.
Yes. Thank you, George, for sharing that. Yeah, time to get boots on the ground. Um,
Yep.
Yep, I think that's a great way to end the call. And again, we're going to be sharing the recording and all the resources very shortly after this. Hopefully by tomorrow morning it can go out. And if you have any questions, again, our emails are our first name, in my case, Alfonso, Katie at mutualman.org, and we will be in touch. And thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Yes.